truly generate money is having a mentor. When cancers have a mentor, they need someone to guide them. They learn very well through looking up to somebody and having a guide, having someone who can teach them, having someone who they respect, who's in the field that they're trying to make money in. Having a mentor is the quickest cheat code for cancer to actually achieve their goals and achieve their financial goals more so. You know, if they're in the work environment, that's looking up to someone who what position they want to be in the work environment and staying close to them and connecting with them. Because the more they stay close to them, the quicker they're going to grow, the quicker they're going to learn and do everything that they need to do in order to I'm talking gibberish, in order to obtain wealth. Number 2, debt free. Now, this is important for cancer more than any other sign. They don't do well with debt, and it's emotional burden for them. They feel emotional heaviness when they have debt. They can't operate with debt, especially personal debt. You know, there's good debt and bad debt. I'm sure some of you guys are aware of that. But the bad debt they can't do. They can't go around owing people money or owing companies money and stuff like that. They don't feel good about themselves and they can't operate money. They can't generate money because they feel like they have no money, or they feel like they need to do things with the money in terms of paying people back. They can't save their money, etc., etc. So they need to be debt free. They don't like debt whatsoever. Patient. Cancers need to be patient, and the reason why they need to be patient is because they like to go with the flow, go with where their emotional stimulation goes. So sometimes they're in certain positions where they can make money, and if they're just a little bit more patient, they will make the money. But sometimes because the emotional tide, the emotional wave takes them somewhere else and makes them focus on something else, they don't stick to something long enough. So patience is the key for cancer to actually make the money, because they may need to wait in their job, they may need to wait and persist in something that they're trying to achieve more to actually get the financial reward. So patience is the key. Patience, patience, patience. Own your thoughts. And the reason why owning your thoughts is really important for cancer, because sometimes cancers have thoughts that aren't even theirs. So they're making decisions that are not even based on what they truly believe. They need to really find their own belief system. I'm not going to lie, they sometimes can naturally copy people. And that's why having a mentor is important, because they need to copy the right person. But sometimes they can copy the wrong people, and their thoughts cannot be their own thoughts. They could be other people's thoughts that they've absorbed and they've held with them, and they're utilizing now into making financial decisions for themselves. And this is where they're going wrong, because they're not being truly authentic in themselves. And like I said many times, authenticity is the highest vibration. And if you have a high vibration and you want to know more about your birth chart, I do birth chart readings, full birth chart readings, where you can 100% know about yourself completely. Go onto my TikTok page and click the link to my website, and you can book a reading for yourself. Emotional stimulating environments. They need emotionally stimulating environments. So they need to have an environment or be in an environment that constantly stimulates them, constantly gives them the emotional feedback that they truly require. Because this is why they become impatient, because when that environment that they're working in, so they need to be highly selective in the environment that they're working in, because when they are in that environment, they become powerful in that environment. They become powerful in emotionally stimulating environments. They don't actually, cancers are a leader sign. Cancers are, a cardinal sign. So when they're in an environment that gives them that emotional stimuli, trust me, they do amazing things. Believe me. So, and that's how they generate the money, when they're doing amazing things in that work environment, in that business environment, in that home environment. It needs to be emotionally stimulating, and that causes them to have imagination. When they have imagination, cancers have a vivid imagination, and they need to utilize that imagination to create wealth. Creativity is the highest form of wealth pool. You can create anything really. If you look at like an iPhone, for example, you create an iPhone, the iPhone is just something of, Steve Jobs' imagination, right? I think he's a Cancer as well. And when you create that imagination, when you have imagination as a Cancer, you have the ability to create anything you want, and you can create plans, you can create ideas, you can create structures, you can create educational programs, you can create processes that allow you to generate more money, allow you to generate a promotion, allow you to obtain more clients, whatever it may be. Imagination is the key for Cancer. So they need to utilize their imagination to get the money. Independent. So Cancers, sometimes they're scared to make that independent step. Okay? Whatever is holding them back, it's normally a person that they want to do it with, or they don't want to do things alone. They want to feel like there's someone with them, protecting them, making sure that everything will be fine. But when they take that one step to being independent, that's when they truly get the results they need. And all they need to do is that one step. They're not the type of person, Cancers are not the type to take one step forward and one step back in terms of independence. Once they're independent, that's it. They're doing their thing. They made a choice and they're going to stick to it. So they just need to take that independent step, so to speak. Overcoming past betrayals. Cancers hold on to the past sometimes, and specifically people that betray them. And sometimes people that betray them, they feel like they can't trust new people. So this, like I've always said, like many people have always said, money comes from people. Money doesn't come from trees. Money doesn't come from animals. Money comes from people. So sometimes you're going to need to be around people, and you're going to need to trust people and do your thing with people in order to generate the cash. And that is just maybe talking to people in your work environment, being socializing with them. Even if maybe someone you were socializing before betrayed you, you still need to push yourself in order to make those connections and forget about that past betrayal. Move on. Don't hold on to the past. Especially with the betrayals, you need people. So you have to learn how to kind of interact and trust people. Even if you don't trust them, forget about it. Just do your thing and be confident in your own self. That will actually help you be who you need to be and create the connections you need to create. So therefore you can create the money you need to create. Simple. Last thing. Optimistic outlook. They need to have an optimistic outlook in life. Sometimes they can think negative. Sometimes their negative thoughts can override them having positive outcomes. So they need to look at things in an optimistic level and not look at things in such a bad level. Look at things as, I'm going to get that money. I'm going to create that sale. I'm going to speak to that person. It's not going to go wrong. He's not going to shut me down. He's not going to betray me. She's not going to do this to me. She's going to buy my product. Look at it optimistically. Don't look at one past outcome as the whole, every single outcome. Be optimistic in your mentality, and you will actually achieve your monetary goals. And this is one of the things that does stop Cancer, because Cancers are naturally protective. And to be protective, you have to kind of look at negative attacks on you to protect yourself. So you naturally think about the negative outcomes because you're always trying to protect yourself. Do you understand? So you're naturally negative in some ways. So you kind of have to let go of that negative outcomes when you're trying to make money and focus on optimism. So this is how Cancer can generate wealth. Hope you guys learned and